So, a little history for you. There was a local guy by the name of Glenn Snow when he lived in Waco. When he lived in California later on, he was Jake Snow.
Okay.
Jake Snow became a very popular engine builder. But in Waco, as Glenn Snow, he came here when James Connolly Air Force Base opened up, and he was an airplane mechanic. And he and a buddy of his, hot rodders,
Yeah.
it's out of the way, they love karting. And one cold winter day, we're out there practicing on a practice day, and Glenn Snow shows up, and he don't have this, he's got tubes. He's got tubes piped in.
All right.
All right. And there was another guy all of a sudden. It started. The two of them was outrunning all of us, bad, on our 580s. The other guy had had the same idea, but he hid his underneath, put a guard on it, and his motor mount cover. You didn't know it, but you knew it by the sound. So his name, he was our paint man, Joe Barton. That's where we bought all our paint from, R&M paint dealer. Well, Joe Barton and Glenn Snow were the original extra port people, and they were external ports.
Okay.
The race was on. I mean, they were so much faster than everybody else, all of us, that from that point on, we all had 5 ports immediately, and anything we could do to make them go. And so Dad had an idea on how to do this thing. Deal done, huh?
Yes, sir.
All righty. So Dad set up and bought a bunch of blocks from West Bend. And then he machined a path in here. And then he took this one is not one of them. This one's been done with a tube
Okay.
down the inside.
All right.
But the ones that Dad set up and machined, he just took a rectangular bar and a ball mill, and he made a pathway, a port pathway. And then he glued them flat like this. And instead of having the hoops that Glenn Snow was doing. And Go Power became a dealer for him.
Oh, okay. So he's actually selling them.
Yeah, bought 40 of them.
Your machine.
Yeah, and machined them. And then Glenn Snow was living in a trailer house at the time, a little trailer house. And so his kitchen table in his kitchen was all piled up. His wife wasn't real happy about it with go-kart blocks, and he was machining. Well, another part of that story that gets real funny is in '63, I was recovering from being knocked out with acute rheumatoid arthritis. I'd been down for months. And I went to the event but wasn't racing, and I had customers there, some of which would be very name popular, like Johnny Teflo's, you know, and they were running our new '63 model carts. So at the motel or hotel, in the lobby, I set a deal up with the people there to display a brand new '63 Hornet.
Oh.
And we were the first to have all the polish and the chrome and a ton of stuff. It's a beautiful cart. And I'm out in the lobby, and this guy comes up to me. I didn't know who he was. You'll recognize the name in a minute. And he comes up and he looks down there, and he said, you know, you got a beautiful cart here. At the time, we were using all aircraft bolts and all
Right.
that stuff. You got a beautiful cart here. In fact, you and Coretta make the best carts in the world. They're just gorgeous carts. John Hartman. That was my first time to meet John. I didn't know him from nobody. So we got to talking a little bit, and he says, I don't know, somehow or another, we got into Westminster. So, well, my son won his first national with with a 5-port West Bend. Oh, really? He said, yeah, it was a Go Power block. And I said, you know where that Go Power block was machined? I said, where's that? I said, Mercury Tool in Waco. And Glenn Snow was the guy that was gluing the stuff on there. And, you know, and we called them the Waco West Bends because there were so many people. A guy by the name of Alex Chun, super fine mechanic. He tweaked, I mean, he kept blowing the hits off. He didn't have any ports. He had ports all the way around. He didn't have any room for anything to hold anything on. So he was putting the deals like you had to do on the power products with a big plate on top here and held on with special stuffer bolts and still blowing it loose, you know, because of just seeing how far you can go. But the West Bends, local West Bends, I mean, I didn't mind coming up against anybody's McCullough.